What is going on, guys? Exciting video today because we got the 240 finally after 4 years and we're getting it tuned. Hopefully everything goes to plan. We fixed the fuel pump issue. We just got to get it loaded up. Taking daddy's truck because ours is a little beat up. But let's get this thing loaded up and head over to Turbo Mike's. Gotta go get gas because that shit empty and 4.5 years old. All right, we just got the Turbo Mike's. I'm so nervous. I really hope everything goes smoothly. Let's get this thing on the dyno and see what she puts down. Previously it was mixed 50-50, 93-110, so we're just doing pump now. So previously made like 590. Curious what it'll make. Let's get this thing loaded up, see what we can make happen. All right, so we've been having like problem after problem. First, it was the battery. It was not getting good connection because the way that the car was set up before was terrible. But a couple other things, but we had to pry the whole cold side of the turbo off to break the wheel, the turbine loose because it was stuck. So now it's spinning. Let's continue trying to get this thing. Jimmy. By the sound of that backfire earlier, we're good to go. It's so exciting. Thank God we ran into a decent amount of issues, so I'm glad that we got pretty much everything resolved here. It wasn't anything crazy serious, and get to see what this thing puts down now. Horsepower, 250 something torque. Sounds a lot faster than that. Dyno session went pretty good. We ran into a few more little issues. Now we're gonna head back to the shop, get everything ordered, and start fixing everything up. Hopefully within the next week we can head back out there and see what this thing can really make. All right. This is so fucking weird, dude. It's so good to be back in this thing. Feels so good. At least drive it up and down the street a little bit until we have to start wrenching on this thing again. Oh, shit. Couple days after the tune, we have to pull the cam angle sensor off and see what plate we need to order. We also have to run the fan wiring to the ECU and also the fuel pumps to the ECUs. Alright, so Craig couldn't find a video on how to pull this apart, and I'm not a rocket scientist, but there's only 3 bolts, so start taking shit apart, see what happens, you know?
This is gonna be the moment of if you need to order a $50 part or a $350 part.
I know. Dude, really, the last one? Alright,
The rest of them.
Craig's a goat.
What'd I do with it, Alex?
You just fucking
Eyeballed it.
eyeballed it. Do the bottom side so we don't see it. Oh boy. Guys, I'm just a driver. I'm just good at driving. Nah, come on, don't do me like that.
Look at how many notches.
Dude, that's insane. So this sensor right here reads all of those. How many is there, Craig? Like 360. 360. So when this thing is spinning at 6,000 RPM, it's like spinning 50 something times a second, which the ECU cannot keep up with it. So what AEM does is they sell one that has only 16, 12, 16.
I think it's 12 or 24.
So it makes it much easier for it to keep up with. And that's what we're gonna have to order, so.
Sensors on.
Okay, so in theory, it should start. All right, so I guess to finish this off, everything's pretty much buttoned up. Honestly, I sent Turbo Mike a message. I'm just gonna wait for him to get back to me just so we know that, you know, it shouldn't start or it should. But everything else, I'm just gonna leave apart like this just in case we run into any issues. And then once we get the car finally tuned, we'll come back here and button everything up, make this thing look beautiful. It is round 2 of tuning this turd. Hopefully today goes better than the first time, but everything has been done and fixed. I hear some pops and bangs, Craig.
Hopefully not a bad pop and bang.
I know. We are back at Turbo Mike's round 2. Let's get this thing unloaded and back on the dyno. Chop, chop. Finally the time. Everything went smoothly. No issues whatsoever. Finally strapping it down. Total bullshit. Now, honestly, everything we did was correct. There was just a loose pin on the harness to the ECU. Right, so it was like cutting off the connection to the ECU and kind of connecting again. So strap it down, see what this thing actually makes. Horsepower, 319 torque. Pretty good. This thing is nuts, apparently. He says that this thing can just keep going and going and going. So I think we might call it there, just to play safe. Good numbers. We're at 513, 333 torque. Curve looks fucking amazing. We're nowhere near its potential though. So this is probably where we're gonna leave off. 8,500 RPM. And he can keep going, dude. That's what's nuts. Look at that curve. Look at it. It like doesn't even attempt to fall. I don't know, boys. So the plan was to sell this thing. We might just keep the motor and sell the chassis. Who fucking knows? All right, so that pretty much brings this video to an end. Huge shout out to Mike. This guy is a legend. If you are in the New England area and you have anything but a rotary, bring it to this guy because he doesn't like rotaries apparently. But he had nothing bad to say about this thing. He was actually pretty shocked on the power it was making on pump, and so was I. But I'm glad to hear that it's all good news. Everything went super smooth. The car rips. It sounds so good. And until the next one, where we maybe, you know, you'll see it on the streets. We'll do some pulls, enjoy it a little bit. Until then, catch you guys in the next one.